base are belong to us.
You're listening to Gamers Digest, a podcast where your hosts put the controllers down just long enough to talk about gaming news, rumors, and anything else they can think of. Here are your hosts, Spider-One and Mr. Factastic.
Welcome to Gamers Digest. We are Gamers Digest. We are a fan podcast.
Gamist.
We are the Gamist Digest.
Gamist.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah, it has been.
So we talk about gaming news, rumors, and whatever the H else we want to talk about.
Mm-hmm. HE double hockey stick.
Yep.
Remember saying that when we were a kid?
No,
I do.
I do too. I was just trying to deny it. Sound cool, but failed horribly. What did you play this week? It was kind of a busy but not busy week.
It's like a non-productive, productive week.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's in the gaming realm. I did play a little bit of the old XCOM, as everyone should know by now, and they probably don't. XCOM Enemy Unknown, the remake of the classic turn-based XCOM shooter, came out yesterday. Yesterday, right? Yeah, it came out yesterday, and the demo was also released. I've been looking forward to the demo, and I'm sold.
Yeah.
You know, this is the game I've been waiting for ages. XCOM UFO Defense is what's called Enemy Unknown for the PC.
Right.
And that was the very first console not really next gen, but it was my very first PlayStation game.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, it was.
That was your introductory to the 3D space,
basically. And I mean, it's fun. The new game it stands up to the original. It's great.
Soon you're gonna get it
soon.
Yep.
You know, after I sell my soul, do a couple side jobs, you know, stuff like that. My firstborn child.
Yeah, that's about where I am now. I'll probably get it for the PC, but it's gonna be a little while.
Yeah, my brother's been playing it, and we've been texting back and forth. He's telling me all about it, and he's telling me that it's like he's a kid again. It's like we're kids again. So,
just better graphics.
Just better graphics, exactly. And it's got multiplayer now, so I'll be talking about it soon. I know I'm going to review it soon, so I'm looking forward to it.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe maybe if we get it around the same time, we'll do a co-op review again.
Yeah, that would be awesome. As a matter of fact, I was watching before we did any of the gameplay that we were playing Smash Brothers and everything. I watched at least an hour and a half to 2 hours of just straight gameplay footage and multiplayer, and they were talking about this has like some esport potential. With the multiplayer, and it's
kind of random though.
I mean, well, the way the commentators were with all the assets, the units and everything. I mean,
it was spot on.
It was good. You know, a lot of people were getting into it. It's got online multiplayer, obviously. You know, and it's got local too. So that's pretty cool.
All right. What else did you play? You got a bunch of stuff on there.
Okay, let's see. Battlefield 3 is, I think, this XP weekend, this upcoming weekend, so I'll be playing more of that. Just touched with it a little bit, not too much. I'm still weary of the, all the noobs in there. And I also watched Forward Unto Dawn, the new
the Halo live action.
Yeah, Halo live action. It's really, really nice. I found out about it on Saturday, a day after it came out.
Yeah,
and
it was like blowing up YouTube.
Yeah, it was very impressive. I mean, they got like a big ad campaign, and really cool.
We got a trailer for it, so let's play that. If I can click the button.
Click the button.
The pincer movement. Red represents the Romans' troops, blue Hannibal's. When the Romans attacked, Hannibal's cavalry galloped in from behind. The Romans were completely surrounded.
How do we apply this?
Drop behind enemy lines. Attack from the rear. Neutralize.
Prepare to attack. You're gonna get us all killed. They're my orders. I don't care.
Axios! You ignored orders.
It's just another casualty, sir.
Unacceptable.
This academy represents honor, valor, allegiance. I am
Halo, bro.
worthy.
Miss you, buddy. Miss you, too.
You are anything but.
Combat scores suck because of you.
Many, when they first arrive, hate this place.
Let's go!
You want people to change, then you're gonna need people to follow you. There's a soldier inside of you, Thomas. I can see it. You need to see it. What does this mean? You're leaving?
Attack. What the hell are those things? Go!
Stay close to me. I'm your best chance for survival.
It's a whole new war. You okay?
Go.
Chief!
Drive!
Mayday, Mayday. Forward onto Dawn. Immediate evac 117.
Play it again, please.
Yes, sir.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
we need a movie.
I mean, we've been wanting the Halo movie forever. We almost got it with Neil Blomkamp, and then that got scrapped, and so we got District 9 instead. So
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good.
This
taste.
actually brought up one of our discussion topics today. Like, movies are obviously the big draw, but what about video game TV shows? Some video games would probably be better as a TV show, which we'll talk about that more. That, like I said, that'll be one of our discussion topics. The last game on here, since we got a little sidetracked there, is Star Trek Legacy.
Yeah, I played Star Trek Legacy, which will be my review for this week.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an older game.
Yeah.
Ship-to-ship based combat.
Real time, not really strategy, but real-time ship combat. It was the very first Xbox 360 game that I was like anxiously awaiting.
Oh, okay.
So, my brother had his Oblivion, and I had Star Trek Legacy, which were both from Bethesda Softworks.
There you go. All right. Well, I also played the XCOM demo. I played it on PC. It's actually been out for a little while, and I played it a while back, a little bit, and then I went back and tried it again because they on PC they found a way to unlock a couple extra units. So like the Chislid or Chrysalid or however you say it.
The Chrysalid, that's cool.
They wreck you.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh man, I remember my very first experience with the Chrysalid. It took out my entire squad. Yeah,
they will wreck you.
Yeah.
I played Borderlands 2. We got a news story for them, so I don't want to give away why I played it. And World of Warcraft, obviously, still the big one because of the expansion. The other game I put on here is called Strategery 2012.
Yeah,
it's actually a Flash game about the current political, I guess, war machine in Advanced War style. You should probably check it out.
Wow.
You really like it because you play as both Mitt Romney and Obama, depending on the level, and you have different parts of your team that have different abilities. And you're trying to win the vote. So instead of sacking towns, you occupy towns. And if you lose a town, then you have the ability to suppress their vote. But it's all in Advanced War style, like 8-bit. Units have special abilities, stuff like that.
That's
and
pretty
it's a Flash
cool.
game for free. And they actually use real speeches and stuff and quotes from various politicians and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not super political, but it's really cool that they did all this, and it's for free. And there'll be a link to it, but otherwise you can look up Strategery 2012. I also like that it's called Strategery 2012.
Yeah, I was like, is this a typo or something?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks to Bush. So, yeah,
yeah, that's right. I get it now.
All right, well, let's hop into the news. Maybe.
News and rumors.
Awesome. That only took a lot longer than I thought it would. Okay, so our first news story is Borderlands 2 got its new class a week early. That's really cool. First of all, it's free to anybody who pre-ordered the game. Otherwise, I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's $10 for the class. But the class is actually really cool. It's called the Mechromancer, and it's
Macromancer or a Necromancer?
Mechromancer.
Okay.
Because she has a giant robot called Death Trap, which is like her special skill. But the nice thing about this character is it's awesome for beginners and it's awesome for advanced people, because of her 3 trees, she has one tree which one of the Gearbox designers got in trouble for because he called it the girlfriend tree, because there's a lot of stuff in there that's designed to make things a little easier on people. Like say you're not very good at aiming, there's a skill that will have your bullets ricochet and bounce back and hit people at reduced damage. Healing skills, stuff like that. So stuff to help like beginners and people who have trouble with it. And then on the flip side, one of the other trees actually changes the game completely. Whereas basically every time your weapon reloads, not you reload it, but it auto reloads, you gain a stack of like a buff. And what that buff does is it increases your damage but decreases your accuracy. And that buff can stack up to like 250%. So you can get it stacked up to ridiculous amounts of, damage, but you got to be point blank to hit them. And the thing is, you can't reload, because if you reload, like if you force reload, it clears all those stacks. So what it does is it changes the whole dynamic of the game to the point where you want a gun that has a small clip, but lots of ammo, and does a whole lot of damage, and accuracy doesn't matter. So what you get is
a shotgun?
Yeah, you get like this big beefy shotgun that only carries 2 shells, and man, you're just like plowing through stuff. Like you're hitting people for 4 or 5 times their life, but you got to be right next to them. So I got to play it a little bit. Obviously, I didn't get that far with it because you got to start from scratch. But it's interesting. I'll probably try out that it's called Order and Chaos, that advanced tree. And then the third tree is just more like a normal,
Now, do they have any other characters or classes planned?
They said if this one goes well, they'll do another class, but as of right now, nothing. But they do have 4 DLC planned, 4 major season pass DLC, which is awesome, because that's really where they hit their stride. In the first one was the DLCs. So, next one snuck up on us.
This story. This was a doozy here. Walking Dead Episode 4 came out yesterday for the PS3, and today for PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
We didn't know about it. They
announced it on Monday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they were like, oh, by the way, tomorrow when the stores update, Walking Dead's probably going to be on
very sneaky. I mean, Telltale, they're getting a little bit smarter now, because a lot of people complained about the release dates. Oh, this is late.
Right.
They're complaining about which days it comes out for one system and comes out for another system a couple days later. So a lot of complaining. They're smart to stay tight-lipped, and so yeah, it really snuck up on us. Like you came home yesterday and you're like, did you know Left 4 Dead was? Not Left 4 Dead. Walking Dead was out. I was like, no. So yeah, we have yet to play it yet.
Yeah.
So
eventually.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about it a little bit, or at least that we played it next week, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. Another small game it wasn't a small game, but it is now. Crazy Taxi's heading to the iPad and iPhones. I have a lot of good memories of Crazy Taxi. It's probably
Crazy Taxi for me is like the game that I never played that never goes away.
Yeah.
I remember Jet Grind Radio. How come that one? You don't see more of that one. That game was really awesome.
Well, they just re-released that for PC.
Okay.
And I think PlayStation Store. But yeah, Crazy Taxi. That game was crazy. So we'll check that out.
Angry Birds is another game that Well, Angry Birds will never go away. But
no.
The Angry Birds Star Wars releases on November 8th. So that'll be
more
cool.
Angry Birds and Star Wars. I'll probably check it out. Bethesda's still working on DLC problems for PS3. They said they're not getting any closer, but they're working on it. Meanwhile, Hearthfire came out on Steam, so PC users can
go out
and Sims.
Exactly. In the Skyrim, build your house and start a family.
Exactly.
Pretty much. So.
Nintendo's trying to copy PlayStation with their digital releases. They're going to put a lot of the big 3DS games on their digital store, like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Star Fox, and there was one in Super Mario Land.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool.
In the same vein as the speaking of re-releases, like the God of War series, the God of War trilogy for PS3. All 3 Resistance games are going to be coming to the PS3 as like a bundled.
Yeah. I played the first one and it was alright. I never really got big into them after that.
Yeah, so. I played a little bit of the PSP game. I think it's called Liberation or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a game that was cool, but there's better stuff at the time, like Halo.
Right.
So I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, I just kind of looked over.
All right. World of Warcraft: Mists of Pandaria brings the subs back up to over 10 million. Like I said, they did sell a lot of digital, so it's good for them. You know, pushing subs up is always better than losing people.
Yeah.
So,
Star Wars.
Yeah.
So this guy, Daniel.
Star Wars. Speaking of Star Wars.
Daniel Erickson.
Yeah, Daniel. BioWare. Yeah, he was the lead designer for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Nice little segue there.
Mostly the lead designer. Like, a lot of people are like, oh god, it's so bad that he's leaving. You know, lead designer's gone. What a lot of people don't realize is he was actually the lead writer up until about 6 months before the game came out, and then he got pushed to lead designer. So he actually probably has the best part. Like, the story in the game is amazing. And obviously he didn't write all the story, but he had control of it. And he did write. He said he's written a couple of the stories. But you know, more people.
Yeah, to be the games designer, you're pretty much like the gunslinger.
Yeah.
You know, they're pretty much at the helm.
Also a class in Star Wars.
Oh, nice. And
you know more about the Old Republic than you think you do. Cliff Belinsky.
Cliffy B.
Yeah, leaves Epic Games.
That's
big news.
Yeah.
He's basically responsible for the modern first-person shooter.
Yeah, he's the face of Epic Games, so that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got the supermodel wife and everything.
Yep.
I mean, I don't like him that much, but
you're just jealous.
She's ugly.
Well,
you heard it here, folks. I think he has too much of an ego. He's kind of a...
He in the interviews, he seems like he has a bit of an ego problem. But he has a right to have a little bit of an ego.
I guess. But
come on, Gears of War 3, Unreal Tournament. I mean, that like changed PC.
I like old school Epic games, and you know all the games back then. I think since then they kind of, I mean, and people have given criticisms to his games and the way he kind of backlash at them. I kind of lost some respect for him, but you know, he's Cliffy B. Let him be Cliffy B.
Yep.
He's like a rock star, basically.
Yeah, he's a video game rock star.
Yeah, that's so what's he gonna do now?
He said he might be done with the game industry. He's not
gonna live
sure.
off royalties.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, there's gonna be a Gears of War every year now.
Pretty much.
Probably. Speaking of a game that comes out every year, FIFA 13 sells 4.5 million in 5 days. That's amazing for a soccer game. I didn't think there were that many. Well, I guess overseas.
Yeah, overseas.
Because that includes overseas. So I take that back. I know there's a lot of soccer fans. And as a former soccer player, I know how big it can be overseas.
I'm pretty sure Madden sold more than that in like a day.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, I mean, FIFA's one of its core, I guess they have 4 pillars that I was reading about, like FIFA, Madden, and
NCAA,
and then there's one more.
Tiger Woods?
Yeah, it might be Tiger Woods. Because I know it's not the NBA game. So, That's cool though. You know, soccer games getting some love.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it is like the world's favorite sport, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know. This is an interesting story.
Well, you want to save this one for last?
Save it for the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, to segue into the... Oh, I got
yeah.
you. I got you.
Another thing that got me thinking. Well, you wanted to go buy my Microsoft points yesterday, but you couldn't because they didn't have the right denomination. That might not be a problem anymore because Microsoft might be getting rid of Microsoft points. Which is awesome because trying to figure out how many points is worth a dollar.
Like Microsoft kind of worked themselves into a corner where, but it also benefited them at the same time because the way they had their little point systems, skewed was that you always ended up having a little bit left over, so you would have to get more in order to get what you wanted. It's like, oh darn, I can't get what I want, so now I need to. I mean, they really. Clever girl.
It's Microsoft. they know how to get that money because when you put $20 worth of points in there and only use $17 of it, that $3 they can collect interest on, and $3 times however many people times interest can add up. So
yeah, you.
But that might be gone. Pretty much with the Windows 8 update, which they think is going to drop the same day Windows 8 does, which is October 26th. Which is actually Microsoft Day because Windows 8 comes out, the Xbox update is probably going to come out, the tablets come out, the phones come out. It's basically Microsoft Day.
A brand new holiday, October 26th, everybody.
Yep. And then, 5 days later, Halloween.
Exactly.
But it's actually going to default just to a credit card payment. So, say you need 250 points, it's just going to charge your credit card for 250 points worth of money, rather than doing the conversion, having to buy 500 or 700, whatever. It's awesome.
Like Walking Dead is like
$5.
It's $5. Walking Dead is $5, but it costs how many points is that in Xbox language? It's
400
points.
400.
I have 360 points.
Yeah.
I need 40 more points.
You should fill out a few surveys.
I probably should. Not get enough. I mean, ever since the Xbox came out and they had this whole point thing, it was ridiculous. But you know what?
Nintendo does the same thing though.
There's nothing we can do about it, and it's tricky. That's why I used the clever girl.
Yep.
Little quote.
All right. Well. Give us this next story, because
Okay.
that'll lead into our...
Fox, which worries me a little bit, is developing a Battlefield Bad Company TV show.
Now, you're worried about it, but Fox traditionally does pretty well with like the animation, but they also do pretty well with the action shows. Like you gotta remember, 24.
Yeah, 24.
24 was pretty good, and the people that were behind 24 are working on this show. So it could be decent. That being said, I also have reservations about it because Battlefield, like the Battlefield Bad Company itself, I don't know how well that's going to lend itself to cable TV because that was always like the rude, crude, like.
Yeah, I mean, here's my take. Bad Company, if they were gonna base any TV show or movie or anything from a first-person shooter, I think Bad Company would be their best shot.
Yeah, definitely.
Because hands down, the story and the characters in Bad Company were amazing. I mean, it was
they were written well.
Yeah, it was a fun game to play because it was written well, and you really like the characters. Like as much as I like Battlefield 3, its story mode, it was crap. I mean, it basically it was trying to be an episode of 24.
Right.
And I didn't care because I already saw that. I didn't care. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about their backstories or anything. Oh, he died. I don't care. I'll play somebody different on the next level.
Right.
But Bad Company, I mean, you did worry about the characters. Like when I played Bad Company 2, I was like, oh man, are they gonna kill Sarge? Is Sarge gonna die? I was worried.
Well, they say the plan for the story currently is how one group is done and they're trying to leave, and they want to go into like the private sector, but then the government, stuff starts happening. Pretty much the story from the first Bad Company.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
So they're gonna find gold.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
As long as they ride that golf cart.
Oh, they have to. Oh, they have to. It's not Bad Company without the golf cart.
Exactly, exactly. But this, and then the Halo miniseries, which isn't a TV series, but it is a web series.
Yes, it is a web series.
Mortal Kombat web series.
I remember
is
that.
Awesome.
I remember
it's
that.
actually season 2. I don't know if it started yet, but they're doing a season 2.
Oh, nice.
And that's really cool, and it got me thinking. Like Hollywood always pushes for the movies, but maybe some games should be adapted to TV.
Yeah, like TV and like the web is another good route.
Right.
Because I mean, it cuts out the middleman if you put it on the web, and you can reap your profits
right
easier. Now you don't have to worry about TV advertising, putting it in all these different theaters. It's
the Hollywood movie machine.
The Hollywood movie machine. You don't got to deal with that, and you can still get exposure. You can still sell your DVDs and stuff eventually. I mean, I would rather see more TV shows, or I'd actually rather see more web series, because then it can just come directly to the fan. You know when to tune in.
It's a lot harder to make money on the web, though.
Just with the ads and everything.
Yeah.
It's tough, but that's what the benefit is, that could keep the cost down for the producers.
Right.
And obviously, if you look at if you guys watched Forward Unto Dawn, I mean, it's still high production value.
It's like I don't want to say it's like HBO show quality, but it's definitely it's like network cable TV quality.
It's cable worthy. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Assassin's Creed. I believe they had like a feature-length little web series, and I saw that Blu-ray at Walmart today.
I actually think Assassin's Creed, that was actually one of my picks for. It's also going to be my preview, Assassin's Creed 3. But I think that would make a good TV show, because there's so much there, and there's so much expandability. I mean, look, they've pulled 3 assassins from one guy, right? You could. I'm under attack. You can pull Desmond, and you can pull more people from him. Or if you don't even want to go that route, you can pull somebody else. Like, you could actually pull somebody on the Templar side that maybe see it from the other side.
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are limitless. I mean, if the people who hold the rights, if they would think about this a little bit, they're thinking about the end result. How much stacks of cash they can get.
Right.
But I mean,
well, that's any business.
So if they think more in terms of how they can still earn their cash and still get us what we want, I do see TV shows and web series a better route for them. Right. Then you won't get stuck in limbo for so long. Like Metal Gear Solid, that's been in talks to be a film for years, since 1998, at least 1999. 2000. And
I mean, Gears of War has been going on for like 5 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, and please help us out here.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Some games for TV shows?
Games for shows. Besides, they're doing Battlefield, Halo. What's another? I mean, we've already seen Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Screwed over. It's tough because a lot of the games that I already have movies.
Right.
And, Metal Gear Solid was already announced, so that's tough. I mean, that's already being done. And I mentioned before in the show, I'd like to see Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Something, that would be
I think
nice.
a lot of the Japanese games would have a lot harder time, at least as a TV show. Maybe as a web series they wouldn't. But, yeah, I think they'd have a little bit of a problem.
So, what about yours?
Assassin's Creed was one. The other one I was going to pick was Borderlands, actually, because there's a lot going on Pandora. Like, my whole idea behind this is maybe not so much a retelling of the game, because they seem to have a problem with that, but more of something that stays true to the universe. Like side stories or stuff like that. Like World of Warcraft has a series of comics. And like my favorite series of comics weren't stuff that heavily dealt with like main characters and lore and stuff like that, but like the little side stories, like here's a group of mages over here that are doing this or doing that, and they were called Warcraft Legends, and it was like 5 miniature comics in a comic, and that was really cool to see more of the universe. Like the Halo like Master Chief's in it, but he's obviously not the focus.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I always imagined if they ever did a Halo movie, you couldn't have Master Chief be like the main character.
No, and I'd actually like to see one of the other Spartans show up, because they say, well, by the time Halo 4 rolls around, they're pretty assured that Master Chief is the last Spartan 2. But then there was like a Spartan 3 program, and now there might be a Spartan 4 program. So I'd like to see them deal with those. So, it's fully expandable, and that's kind of what I was basing it off of.
Command and Conquer.
That would be pretty cool as a TV show, but that would be hard to translate. That would be a good movie. Like, I think Command and Conquer would be a good movie. Well, it'd make a better movie.
I mean, the cutscenes are movies, sort of movies in themselves.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
you have to keep the same Kane though.
Yeah, it kind of ruined it when he got a little chunky and found out he was an alien. So
yeah, which is true.
Yeah, but
this is true.
Billy D. Williams is the president. That was good.
He was. Didn't he die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I miss Command and Conquer.
And
you not so much.
You didn't play the fourth one.
No, I didn't.
It leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Oh, that sucks. There's no Tricia Helfer in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, our next topic is remakes and reboots. So XCOM obviously is the big thing this week.
Yeah.
So what are reboots are the big rage in Hollywood? Like they're already talking about rebooting Batman again. In fact, they're rebooting him and then they're rebooting him again. It's the current word. Like he's going to be in the Justice League movie, and then there's going to be a new Batman in the next Batman movie. So, video games reboots are a little slower for the most part.
Yeah.
Most of the time they just continue the franchise. It's only recently that we're seeing reboots and remakes. Like Tomb Raider is a big one. That is a big reboot.
That's a big one. I was going to mention that one in this a game. As far as a reboot, I would like to see or a remake. Okay, let me answer a remake first. I would really like to see a remake of Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, that would be
I was
cool.
super disappointed when they remade the first Resident Evil
for GameCube,
and then they did Resident Evil 0. And but I mean, Resident Evil 2 was hands down the most, I want to say, as the most iconic, the most successful when the games were coming out. I still think like Resident Evil 2 was a bigger sequel than Resident Evil 3 was. And,
oh yeah.
I mean, and for them to not, give me that chance to play through there again, I kind of felt let down. That's why I end up liking Resident Evil Outbreak so much, or Outbreak File 1 and 2, because it actually brought me back to Raccoon City, and it was like, it kind of had that look and feel of the Resident Evil remakes, even though it totally wasn't, but I would love to play a remake of Resident Evil 2. So, and Capcom did, what was it called? The Umbrella Chronicles. Were you able to relive some parts of Resident Evil 2, but it still wasn't the same?
Wasn't Umbrella Chronicles like a on-rail shooter, though?
Yeah, it was an on-rail shooter. So that's why, you're reliving some of the things, but...
Yeah. See, my favorite's still going to be 3. Like, I really like 2, but 3 was just, like, the epitome of scary because...
Oh, you're being chased.
It broke the rules. Like, in the previous Resident Evils, if you made it to a door and made it to the next side, you were safe. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that with Nemesis. It was like, if he was chasing you, he could go through doors, he could go through windows.
That was pretty cool. I think if they could remake 2, maybe remake 2 and 3 into one game, that would be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty
with
neat.
The different campaigns. And as far as reboots, they need to reboot Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's getting a little outrageous now.
It's out of control now.
Like, yeah, 6 obviously we haven't talked too much about it because frankly I'm not really that interested in it.
Me too. I'm not. I have no drive in me to. Oh, I need to play it.
Yeah.
I felt that way with 5. I felt that way with 4. And then 1, 2, and 3. But
yeah, 6, I think they need to. I think they need to just cut it. It's starting to get too crazy. Take it back to the basics,
to its roots. I mean, I think they can still create a horror. I mean, it started as horror, survival horror. It coined that term, survival horror, and Yeah, it's not survival horror anymore.
See, I'd like a remake of the original Silent Hill, because to me that was the scariest game. And the movies are pretty freaky too.
Yeah, they are definitely.
But that would be my remake. As far as a reboot, I'd like to see them reboot Mega Man and just start from the beginning. Up like 2D. 2D is coming back.
Yeah,
but update the visuals.
Yeah, we got the renaissance of 2D side scrollers, platformers.
Go to the hand drawn, or you go to the high res sprites. Look at Yolich Gear, stuff like that. And that would be pretty cool. And they could even do 3D characters if they do it right with hand drawn backgrounds. Because they dabbled with that a little bit with Mega Man X7, but I don't think the technology was right there and the execution wasn't that great. But I'd like to see them take Mega Man back and just start over, because
that was a good one.
They've had Mega Man Legends 3 got canceled.
Gosh, yeah, that's true.
So we're waiting on a new Mega Man game.
New Mega Man. What's something else? Dang, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Dang, it'll come back to me eventually, but yeah, that's tough.
And also I'd like to see Warcraft go back to an RTS. I don't know if that falls under either, but that would be. I really like the RTSs. Obviously, I like the MMO too, but.
Yeah, I can't think of my other remake, but it's funny how for those remakes, reboots, we're going like way back.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you think about it, a lot of stuff we're playing now are just sequels of the old stuff.
Well, that's why I put reboots in there.
Yeah. Are there any remakes or reboots or remakes really, or updated versions of games that you played that you didn't like? Because I'll say it right now, one of my favorite games of all time got remade for the GameCube, and I hated it.
What?
Metal Gear Solid. They did they updated Metal Gear Solid for Twin Snakes, and I mean they shat on it.
Yeah. I wasn't too thrilled about the new Bionic Commando. That wasn't that great. Obviously the new Sonic games, with the exception of Generations.
Yeah, the new Sonic games. I think that might have been it. Rebooting Sonic.
Yeah. It's hard to make a good Sonic game nowadays, because it did so well before because it translated well to that generation. It was 2D, it was fast, stuff like that. Nowadays, that's hard to pull off. Like, the games can do that in their sleep, so it's nothing crazy. They just re-released Nights into Dreams.
Oh, that's cool.
That was actually one of my favorite Dreamcast games, and they finally re-released the original in HD.
They're re-releasing Doom, by the way.
Doom 3.
Doom 3.
I'll probably check that out because it's updated graphics and it's cheap. It's only like $30 or something.
So yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Nice discussion here.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of remakes, I mean, this might be a little bit of a not necessarily a segue, but I would like to see a remake of there's this game that came out a while back. It's called Star Trek Bridge Commander. I've been on a Star Trek stick, and I might as well say it right now. Last Friday or something like that, I watched the first two Star Trek movies, Star Trek the Motion Picture and Star Trek The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
And back to back. So we're talking like 4 or something hours of Star Trek.
And like the first one started at like 9 o'clock or something.
Yeah, I wasn't done until it was way after midnight. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing. That's why was playing Legacy and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to play Bridge Commander again, because basically you are the role of the captain. Like, it's like first person. You're sitting in the captain's chair, and you can like click on the different. It's a PC game.
Yeah.
You click on the different people, like the tactical guy. He shoots. The engineer or the helmsman. You tell them where to warp to and stuff like that. The science guy, you tell them to scan whatever planets. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, I might review it in the future.
Maybe.
It is pretty dorky.
The epitome. That's like a game where it makes you be Luke, but you have to like go through the Jedi training.
I'm gonna review it just so you guys can see in the video how cheesy it is.
Okay. Let's move on.
More Star Trek later.
Yeah. Apparently it's a Star Trek show.
Oh yeah.
All right, so previews. The big game coming out, we've already talked about it a little bit, is Assassin's Creed 3. I have this down as a preview for me, but, you know, time in. The big information is it's coming out on PC and Xbox October 30th, Wii U, and PC in November. I'll probably get it on PlayStation just because these kind of games translate better to consoles.
Yeah.
And Assassin's Creed 2 had terrible DRM, but Ubisoft said that they dropped that, but, you know, bad taste in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's set between 1753 and 1783. For you math people, that is 30 years. For you historical people, obviously that's the American Revolution.
Yeah.
You know, independence was signed 1776.
Boston Tea Party.
That's right now. oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. So you play as a new protagonist. He's half American, half Native American. His name is Connor.
It was Columbus Day this week.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
His name is Connor Kenway. And, well, you don't have to listen to me.
You got some video.
Jabber. Well, you don't have to watch me jabber. Okay, so let me turn that down. There you go. That way you don't get any feedback from the mic. Obviously, I borrowed this video from YouTube because that's the best place to get videos of stuff I don't have. This is all in-game footage, so you can see, you know, just how good the game looks. Like I said, you play as Connor Kenway. That's him right there with the bow on his back.
Mm-hmm.
It also featured Desmond in the present day. It's actually going to feature Desmond a little more heavily than the previous two, and it's rumored that it might actually wrap his story up.
That's cool.
They may actually, you know, get him to the conclusion. Yeah, where he stops the modern day apocalypse.
That's cool.
You know, that's pretty cool. Obviously, it's a new game engine because none of the Assassin's Creed 2 games look this good.
No.
They also said that they started working on this one immediately after Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay.
So the I don't want to say spin-offs, but the expansion packs that were charged as full games for Assassin's Creed 2 were made by a side team.
That's probably why I never even played them.
Yeah. So here we are in the main game footage. Obviously, it's not that much different. It's still Assassin's Creed. You still sneak around. You still kill people.
That's awesome.
So
that's what you know what I'd like to see. I know it would never happen, but this reminded me when I first played the Assassin's Creed. It reminded me so much of, like, I would like to see a Zelda game like this. Not, you know, not necessarily the violence, but the freedom, the free roaming, the riding the horses and everything. Yeah. And yeah, that'd just be cool.
That would be pretty cool. So, but I mean, it's still Assassin's Creed. You still have targets. You still have, you know, all the normal Assassin's Creed stuff. The one big thing they change is the Frontier. Frontier plays a big role in this. The big thing in Assassin's Creed 2 was the economy system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you build up money and stuff like that. In this, it's back, but it's a little different in the fact that you know, you can go out and hunt game. You know, come into trading posts, trade stuff. So you build the economy a little differently in this, and you can still obviously own, you know, land. And
isn't that a little bit like Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You can go hunting and stuff like that.
Right. And Red Dead Redemption takes it a little further in the fact that, you know, you can skin, you can do all kinds of stuff. Oh. Not good. But yeah, that's the big change up. Fast travel's back because this game's pretty big too. You know, so they had to bring that back. In fact, you can explore the entire eastern seaboard once you get a ship. So
wow.
He is actually going to be a captain of a ship. So that's pretty cool. You know, I'm excited about Assassin's Creed again. You know, I played 2. I played the second part of 2, and I started the third part of 2, and then I never really finished it because it just really wasn't that interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because, you know, for the historical aspect. Like even in the other Assassin's Creed, there wasn't this historical aspect to them. You know, you had Da Vinci and stuff, but I didn't really know a lot of those people that were in the
personally.
Others. Yeah, you know, but
you weren't Facebook friends with them.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I didn't know the their historical connotation.
Right.
You know, there were so many names and stuff that were, you know, of actual people. But, you know, I'm way more familiar with John Hancock, George Washington,
Ben Franklin.
Yeah, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson. All these people are in this game. And
Right.
you get to see them from a different, you know, perspective. You know, like Washington's supposed to be some badass and everything. You know,
Right.
and you're fighting for them. And I mean, I think that's cool because we know American history a lot more than we know French or Italian history.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
The Crusades,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But they had to start there to get to this point.
exactly.
So, but yeah, you see him killing some redcoats. Obviously, he's still got all the assassin tools, the hidden blade.
Mhm.
Guns obviously play a lot bigger role in this because obviously they're more prominent
Yeah.
by this point. So there you see him picking up a gun. You know, this is really cool. Like, you know, all the video footage and stuff I've seen of this look amazing. The combat has been like completely changed. I don't want to say changed, but reworked to the point where, you know, you can double parry, double dodge, you know, reverse. Two-handed combat's obviously big because he uses the blade and the tomahawk. So that's, you know, that's really cool. Another big point is multiplayer's coming back. It's made by the same people who did it in the previous games, but obviously they're tweaking it, you know, changing it up a little bit. Like one of the modes they showed is Wolfpack mode, where it's actually a cooperative mode, which is kind of cool. So you and, you know, up to 3 other people, you know, help assassinate together, which that's really cool. Like,
Look at these visuals.
Group assassination. Yeah. This is amazing.
Yeah, well, I am looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Again, it's like Resident Evil 6. I'm not like in a huge urge to play it, but I know I will play it and I will like it. Unlike Resident Evil 6.
Yeah. For people who are thinking that they want to buy it, do your research first, because there are actually 7 editions of this game coming out.
Wow.
Now that's not for every console. I think the most per like one platform is like 3. So, you know, that's not really that bad. But, you know, PC version has different versions than Xbox. Xbox has different versions than PlayStation, and PlayStation has different versions than all of them. There are some PlayStation-only levels, so PlayStation's finally getting a little bit of love. PC has listed that they have all the levels. I don't know if that includes the PlayStation-specific levels. But do your research first, because the special editions will, I don't want to say dramatically change your game experience, but they will change your game experience. So, you know, look up what you want. But, you know, like, looking at this now, this is pretty cool, because you've never really done this in any of the other Assassin's Creed games. You've never been, yeah, obviously you had, you know, stuff you could climb and you go out, but you've never been out in the open like this.
Yeah, never been out in the wilderness.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember in Assassin's Creed 1, there were parts you could go out, but it was just, like, ravines and stuff. And you can never climb like you're climbing here. Like, he is literally scaling a mountain.
Yeah, that's insane. This reminds me of Dragon's Dogma a little bit.
Yeah, but look, you know, completely playable area. Find some redcoats up there. You know, that's pretty exciting. He's probably going to get caught here. Oh, taking him down. So, you know, that I'm excited. Looks really good.
Yeah, it does. Assassin's Creed 3 out in November.
Well, October for Xbox and PS3. Right. That's the other reason I might get it earlier, is because it's like the end of November for both of them. It's like November, well, like mid-November. It's like the 18th for PC, and then launch day for Wii U, which I think is the 20th. So,
yeah, we're getting close to Wii U.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We're going to review people standing in line.
We should, yeah.
Should go to a launch event and interview people.
I mean,
I'm not going to buy it.
The closer we've gotten to the Wii U release, the more I've, you know, started. I'm not bashing it or anything, but the more I accept it.
Yeah, it's an inevitability. You just have to roll with the punches. All right, well, because Resistance is futile.
Here comes my Star Trek review. I'm reviewing Star Trek Legacy, and I got a video here. Pros are winning.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait,
I think we're live again.
Oh, we're live again. So, Star Trek Legacy. It's out for the PC.
Yeah, you can.
And the Xbox 360. And it's cool. It's a, like I said before earlier in the show, it's a real-time ship combat, which is pretty much the only of its kind.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in next gen and on consoles. It's cool because it spans all eras in the Star Trek universe. You know, you got the Enterprise, the original series era, you know, back with Captain Kirk, the Next Generation with Picard, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine. And it's got all the original voice talents of all the captains from those different shows. So that was cool to, you know, hear a familiar voice.
Right.
And I believe it's 15 different missions that span the entire different thing. And it tells a story that kind of combines all the eras and tells a complete story. One of the things I liked about this game was obviously, well, for the time, this game came out back in like '06, I believe. I like I like the visuals.
Yeah.
This was one of the first games I was looking forward to being released. I mean, I didn't have too many Xbox 360 games when I first got it, but this was one of the first. You can control a squad of ships. Like you can have, there's different classes like cruisers, scout ships, destroyers. You can warp from point to point. I mean, it's really cool. And that, like, if you go through nebulas, it can disrupt your targeting and your sensors and everything, just like in the universe itself. And there's multiplayer. And what I liked about the multiplayer back then, when the damn, lost my train of thought there. Back when people used to play, there was like a co-op mode, and it's basically the original Horde mode, you know, where you can team up with friends and AI and just compete against wave after wave of stronger enemies and, you know, a whole bunch of ships. What else did they have? So there's team battles, AI battles, free for alls. I mean, it was fun, and for a Star Trek fan, you know, you can't not like this game. Right. As far as cons, the controls can be a little clunky because there's just so much to do. So much I wrote here, too few buttons to do so many things.
Yeah.
You know, you can hold down a button and do one thing. You can target different systems on a ship that you're targeting, so you can take out their engines, shoot their engines or slow them down, take out their weapons. You know, it's different little things that come more into play when you're doing the story mode, because, like, say you're chasing after a ship with somebody important on there, but you don't want to kill them. Right. You know, you want to slow them down, or you want to slow down some ships so a bigger laser thing can blow them up. Just little things like that, but like I said, it's the controls, there's a high learning curve to them, and it kind of sucks. One thing that I didn't like about this game is that some of the missions in the single-player story campaign were a little difficult. And I'm talking like one mission in particular, it took me, I want to say, a week to beat. Dang. There's these asteroids or something that are about to destroy a planet, and you got to deflect them with your tractor beams, and you got to do all kinds of different things, and you got to set your points for the warp here. Oh, and let me take out this asteroid. I mean, it was crazy, and it was super hard. I don't know how I beat it, but in all, I like all the different ships you can get. For the PC, there's mods where you can actually download and use Battlestar Galactica ships. Star Wars, Star Wars ships. I mean, really cool stuff. You could even update the Enterprise from the movie that came out, the most recent movie.
Huh.
Ultimately, I would give this game an 8 out of 10. I mean, It's a must-play for any Star Trek fan, and I'm a huge Star Trek fan. It's a solid game, stays true to the universe, but it hasn't really withstood the test of time. Because, you know, when I played it again, I mean, some of the graphics or some of the textures seemed a little flat, but I mean, for the time, amazing.
I mean, it still looks pretty good. Obviously, it doesn't look as good as, you know, current games.
Yeah, like realistic lighting and stuff. I mean, stuff that you can do for the PC version, but not for the console. But ultimately, I mean, while I'm on my Star Trek stick, I give this game a 8 out of 10.
What about if you're not on your Star Trek stick?
If you're not a Star Trek fan, you probably won't like this game.
Yeah, as a non-Star Trek nerd, It seems interesting, but probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not for me. Because we are running long, I'm actually going to cut my review. I'll do my review next week because my review is going to take a while.
Oh, man.
So, my review is
what
actually...
made us go over? Was it the preview?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did Assassin's Creed.
That's right.
I was going to review Mists of Pandaria because it's an MMO review. There's a lot to it, and we already are running over. So I will do that next week. I promise. I do have some videos coming out for it, some guides. I actually have like 3 or 4 that are set up. I just need to finish them, so hopefully sometime this week. I know I keep saying that, but I keep recording more stuff, so I got to sort through it. But
next week, do the voiceovers for them too?
I did the voiceovers for a couple of them, but I got to go back and re-render them with the voice in there. And then I have like 4 more now that I've recorded this week. I've recorded a lot this week. I kind of opted more for the recording this week than streaming, just because I do want to get these guides out of the way. And I really wanted like the first raid, well, the first like looking for raid part opened up this week, and I wanted to do that, but for some reason or another, Fraps was crapping out on me that day, and I was getting like 2 frames a second during it.
That
so
sucks.
I think I got that fixed now, because I had that problem in Dungeons, but then I thought I had it fixed, and then when I got in the raid, it did it again. I think one of my hard drives is running slower, so it's having a problem, you know, dumping it onto that hard drive, because those videos are big, so I need to put it on a decent hard drive. So, but that's coming up. You know, all the normal stuff. If you live in Anne Arundel County, Maryland, you can watch us on public access.
Yeah.
Thursdays at
10 p.m.
10.
And Saturdays at 8.
Saturdays at 8. So, it is Thursdays, right?
Thursdays, yep.
Okay.
I also have new time slots for the other show.
Cool.
I'll have to give you those.
Yeah, how long are those time slots?
I mean, it can be up to 30 minutes or an hour. So
okay.
Whatever you want.
Well, yeah, most of the dungeons are... That's kind of weird. Most of the dungeons are 15 to 20 minutes.
So a half-hour show?
Yeah.
You can do. Okay.
With me dancing for 10 minutes.
Okay. I mean, they can be shorter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that works.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Well, we'll see you guys
See you next week.
Gamers Digest is a Spider-One and Mr. Factastic production. All characters and games are owned by their respective companies and are used under the Fair Use Law. Check out Gamers Digest at gamersdigest.me, on YouTube under Gamers Digest Podcast, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at The Gamers Digest. Viewer questions and comments can always be sent to gamersdigestpodcast@gmail.com. See you next week.